Stampers, it's Diane Evans here with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator. Now, if this is your first time joining me, make sure that you do subscribe to my video. There is a link below, and there's also a bell that's attached to that. If you hit that bell, you'll get notified immediately as soon as I upload a new video. So today what I want to do is I want to show you a traditional type shaker card that is mailed with used with the Nailed It suite that's in the J2J and mini catalog. This suite is amazing, and check out all these adorable samples that are on there. We're going to be using the stamp set, just a tiny bit of the stamp set. We're also going to be using the dies, so that bundle. We're going to be using this twine as well, along with the resin dots and also the designer series paper. Trust me, once you start playing with this suite, you're going to absolutely love it. It's so cute. I can't say how cute it really is. So we're going to be playing probably with this stamp set is what I'm thinking. And then, yeah, I think, and maybe this one on the outside of an envelope. We're definitely using these dies. We're going to use our mini cut and emboss as well. But we're also using this designer series paper. Many parts of this designer series paper can be cut out as it is, right directly with the dies itself. So I'm actually showing that this particular card that we're doing today is all going to be from cutouts from the designer series paper. And then I'm going to show you how I can use one of the stamp sets just to show you how I just want a portion of that stamp set. So let's get started. Now the card that we're going to be making is one that's similar to this. I've changed up the designer series paper a bit, but I think you'll love the way that it actually turns out. So I'm changing the background. I've got a piece of Daffodil Delight. The colors that are included in this particular suite are Basic Gray, Bermuda Bay, Blushing Bride, Daffodil Delight, Real Red, and Basic White as well. So I always use the palette that they give you in the designer series paper in order to decide what other colors that I'm using. So this is a piece of cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to come in with my bone folder and make sure I've got a nice crisp fold with that. And then I have some Bermuda Bay that I'm going to use as one of the layers. And I love these two colors that are together with that. It just works so well. So I'll just use some of my seal on there. And we're just going to attach that. When you're attaching your seal, or I mean your base, a lot of people have a hard time getting it centered. Sometimes one of the best ways to get it centered is from going from the corner of your cardstock down to the corner of the other cardstock. And look at that. Excuse me. Where it just goes like that. And we'll get that centered. Or you can use what a lot of people call is the dreaded liquid glue. I like this because it gives us a bit of wiggle room, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm just going to put a thread around there. I'm not going too close to the outside because I'm not going to let this kind of partially dry. What I'm going to do is I want to put it onto the card so that I've got the wiggle room in there. That was kind of a lot of glue that I put down on there. Now, as opposed to the other card, I've changed up the designer series paper a bit that I'm using on it, but it all coordinates with this. And you see what I mean by you've got a bit of wiggle room by putting on your card base to make sure that it's good and straight. Now we're also going to be doing the inside of our card, so I've got a piece of basic white for there as well. Now the other pieces that I've gone ahead and I've cut out Miss Snail, I call her. And then we've got Mr. Snail. I have some designer series, some Bermuda Bay. Now, all of the measurements for this particular card, I'm going to have on my blog post. And there is a link to my blog post for the measurements below. So with this particular one, we're going to go in with this die. Now, this die cuts out like a postage stamp. So this is what we're going to use for part of our shaker card there. Now I'm just going to bring up my, my cut and emboss. And we're just going to run this one through. Just like this. I'd actually designed this card quite a while ago, so it was sitting in my pile to do videos for. So, all right, so I'm just going to run that through, like so. And then I'm going to take this, see how that works as a stitched postage stamp? I just love how that works. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back in and we're going to cut the frame. Now I've used my stitched square or my layering square dies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that in the middle of this. Now I want to make sure that that stays in place when I go to run it through. So I am using my, oh my goodness, I got to get this so that it's right in the middle of this. It's not quite the same size as the layering squares. And then I'm just using my Post-it note tape on there and run that through. And this is what's going to give us the frame for the shaker card itself. Now usually always what I do is I just put my Post-it note tape back on my cut and emboss machine, and then I'm ready to go for the next time if I need it. All right, so let's just move that out of the way. Now the first thing that I want to do, because this liquid glue is kind of, it takes a while to dry, or we want it so that it's not going to ooze out, is I'm just going to put a thin bead of this liquid glue around the frame. And then I'm just going to let this sit for just a tiny bit until it goes to kind of an opaque color. And by that, then it's not going to ooze out of the sides. Now the other part is, while I'm waiting for that to happen, I think what I'll do is I'll go in and I will stamp the image that I want to stamp on the inside. So I'm taking this particular one here, the one that says "You've got mail." Now I could put that little tiny snail in there, but what I've decided to do is I only want the words to be on there, because I've gone ahead and I've already cut this little guy out. I thought I had. Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to come in with my, this is Bermuda Bay, and I just want to ink up this part here. And then we're just going to huff on this. And this is just going to go about, see, about there, I think. And then what I want to do is I want to have this little cutout from my designer series paper. I want to have it go down below there. All right, so this looks like it's kind of, just put that off to the side again. Sorry, we're jumping all over the place, but I need to get this part so it's kind of dry. Now see how it's gone clear? So now I'm going to come in with my window sheet, and I've cut it just a tiny bit smaller than this. I thought I had. Let's come in and trim it off. And we're just going to trim it just a bit. And we'll cut this one off just a bit as well. And then we're just going to lay this window sheet onto this frame. And this is what's going to serve as our sheet for the shaker card. Now it looks like there's a bit hanging out. It is that glue, so I can move it just a bit, and then now we've got that covered. Now another thing that I always do is I go in with my embossing buddy. Like I say, if you don't have this, you can fill a little tiny sock with cornstarch, and that'll give you so that we have the anti-static on here. So now what I want to do is we have these foam adhesive sheet strips. So I'm going to put that around the outside of this so that I've got the frame for the shaker card. So I want to make sure that it's not going to show from the one side. So we're just going to go down to that one. And I'm just going to cut this one off. And then we're going to go around, and hopefully this is, no, it's not quite long enough. So I'm actually going to take another strip. I can take a full strip, and then we'll play with it at that point. Cut it. We want to make sure that there's no space in between, because we are going to use this ice cream sprinkles to make our shaker card. Is that going to show through a bit? It is. Just want to make sure that that's not up to the edge there. So let's see. There we go. There. And we'll do another one right there. There we go. And now we've got like the basis for our shaker card. And that's what's actually going to go right on about here. So the one thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that I've got, I know where I want this to go. And it seems like there's a little bit of something on there. I don't think we're going to see that in the card. Okay, so I know I want it to go about there. So I'm going to come in with my ice cream sprinkles. And these are really, really neat sprinkles that we can use for any type of a shaker card. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to put some in there. And we want to make sure that this isn't going to touch any of that foam, because if it does, then it's not going to completely come out, like it's not going to shake properly. So I've got it like that. And then what I'm going to do is I've also gone ahead and I have cut out a couple of these envelopes, and I want to put, let's see, we want to put an envelope in there. So I think I'll put that, go ahead, and I'm going to put that, whoops, see what I mean by that. And I'm going to put this on top, because on one of the cards that I did, I had the envelope below, and it didn't move around. So I want it to move. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this off here. And this, I'm telling you, this is going to come back, and it's going to, oops, there's my cut off pieces. It's going to come, and it's these ice cream sprinkles are going to jump up at this window sheet. And that's because of the static. But hopefully we have enough of that the embossing buddy on there that it's not going to work. And I have none around there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how that just jumped up. And I want to make sure that I've got that good and pressed down. So that way, when I go to shake this and see with that card, the envelope in there, it actually should have not been so stuck on there, but it did. So it's all right. We're going to leave it the way that it is, because that's the way it wants to be. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to put Mrs. Snail up here, and then we're going to put this guy down here. So I want to make sure that I put the dimensionals on this side here. So I'm just coming in with my dimensionals. And we're just going to put some just down. We can do it by the eyes. We can put some here. And see, the rest of it is actually going to go, let's see, where are we going to put this? Where, if I'm going to put him there, oh, we definitely want some there. See, I've got to take this one off because I want it more on this side. So it's going to come like that. So I'll take those off. I'm going to come in with my Take Your Pick tool. I really have issues trying to get the backings off of my dimensionals. There. And we're going to put that, because that's raised up there, we want this part here raised up so that it's not going, we might even have to double dimensional that. And I believe that we are going to have to, because there is that layer on there. Have you heard of that term, double dimension? Well, this is what it means, is you're just going to put another dimensional right on the top, just so that it stays as an even, it's even with the rest of the snail. So there we go. We've got him there. And then we're also going to do the same thing with her over there, and it looks like we've got a double dimension it. So let's go ahead and put the double dimensionals on there. Let's see. Want her on this side here. Put another dimensional there. So I have to just double check to make sure. And also up by the presents. Another one there. In order to do that, though, we've got to take the one backing off to put the other one on. And then what you would normally do is put some seal on this part. So that's what I'm going to do so that it doesn't flap. And then let's just take this backing off here. Okay. So we've got her up there. I want to make sure it's within the cards. So there we have it like that. I'm also going to go ahead and put this envelope there. Let's just put it like that. And because we do have these little resin dots, I'm going to go in with one of those. And then let's just put that right there. And another thing that I want to do with this particular one is that I want to go and I want to put some googly eyes on here. I didn't have any. We used to sell these years ago, but I have some googly eyes that were given to me from a friend. And I think this is just going to make this card completely complete. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some glue dots on the eyes. And we're going to put it also on Mrs. Snail as well, because we have enough that we can do it. And this is going to make your card higher up. So it might be a card that you're going to absolutely want to send, not to mail to somebody, or put it in with a parcel that you're mailing to somebody, or else give it to them personally. I think that's something that we would have to do. So let's just put that there. And then I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool. Now, are these different sized eyes? They kind of look like it. So I think what I'll do is I'll put the bigger eye on him. Yeah, hopefully I've got enough of those eyes. Whoops. All these fiddly little things. And then I'm all fingers. All right, so bigger eye. Oh, it's sticking to there. This is really not... Maybe I should have put the glue dots on the back of the eyes. I'll do that on the next one. It doesn't look like he has... Anyways, we're going to get the same size eye. Oh my goodness, that just adds to it completely. Oh, that's so fun. Little tiny eyes, though. Little tiny eyeballs in there. There. Oh my goodness, isn't that cute? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put eyeballs on the Mrs. Snail. There, that one fits better. And let's get another eyeball on there. Oh my goodness, so cute. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Oh my goodness, doesn't that make it fun? It not only shakes the cards, but the eyeballs go. And then that one's looking like it's... There we go. And then I think we have enough stuff on that part. And then on the inside, what we're doing is I've got that part there. And then I'm just going to go in with the little piece there and put that on there on the inside. So there we have it. There are the 2 cards that I've done with this. I hope you like that, because to me, it's a fun card. Any kid of any age would love to get a card like this. So if you like that, give me the thumbs up. And, you know, leave a comment. Oh, I know, I did forget one thing. We're going to use some of that twine, because I said that we were going to use some of everything from that suite. So let me just quickly go in and put that on there. Anyways, if you like that, give me the thumbs up. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask any questions on my YouTube or even on my blog post. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you've subscribed to my YouTube channel. And also, if you live in Canada and do not have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. All you'd have to do is just shoot me an email if you need some a catalog. Also, if you do shop online, I do have a very generous reward program, which I give out tutorials. I give out lots of free stuff as well on for all my online shopping. So anyways, I've just got this little bow maker that I'm going to make a double bow. And I do have a video out on this, but you just wrap it around here twice. And then I'm just going to go up here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off. This is something that you can make from the backing of your designer series paper. This will give me a bow that is this wide. I find this is the easiest way for me to make bows, and it's great to make double bows. So, but I just wrap it around and then go up. But I do have a video on that as well. So I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to slip it off up here. We're going to use a glue dot on there as well. Let's see. And I'm just going to take this like this. Oops. All fingers today. And then we're just going to put this up here on her. And I'm going to give it a bit of a haircut. So like I say, which card do you like better? I don't know which one I like. I'm a big Bermuda Bay fan, but it's kind of nice to have the yellow on there as well. Again, like I say, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also make sure that you leave a comment. And if you need a demonstrator, I am available. I also went and decorated this part of the envelope. Just did the stamp from here. And then just put a resin dot on there. So one of the grandkids is going to love this card. Actually, I can send one to my grandson and one to my granddaughter. And they look totally different, right? Anyways, have a great day. And thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.